All right, take one. The disassembling and reassembling of the teepee. We have a expert on hand. Somebody with some experience, and we're going to see if we can't get it the canvas restretched, reset, the poles reset, and maintain the life of the canvas and the teepee.
To take the cover off first, so unstake everything, unpin the entrance and up to the flaps, and kind of, you know, roll it back to the lift pole. And then I don't know if the lift pole is wrapped in at the top.
Yeah, it was put up there. No, it wasn't. Because
so the lift pole
then the string would be outside of the.
Yeah. Okay. So then it should be easy just to take that pole and lay the whole cover down all at once in the back. And I think then once the cover is off, it'll be a lot easier to take down the flue and move it to where it needs to be, or just take it down first and then take the rest of the poles down. And then at that point we'll need a tape measure ideally it's a 20-foot teepee, so it should be 18 feet from the center of the where you tie the lift pole. The center of that to the bottom of the teepee should be 18 feet.
Okay.
But ideally we would just need to measure it to make sure we get the tripod lengths correct.
So we might need a shovel to move where the poles rest to, like higher or lower?
Possibly, but probably not.
Okay. Because I know in the past that
The canvas is off.
What I would suggest is that after I tie it, we put a screw in like right there.
Oh, okay.
Like not actually through the rope, just like under it.
So we've already got the canvas down, and we're repositioning the what pole is this called?
The lift pole.
The lift pole. So we measured it. It's 18 feet from right there to what, the bottom of that V?
Yep.
Oh, to the
right here.
okay, right there.
Basically the bottom of the V. Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
There's several ways to tie them, but what I've experienced to be the most secure way is that as you just make your square knot, right, but then twist it.
Looks like you're getting your handkerchief in there too.
Looks like it. Yeah. But then twist it so that it kind of locks a little bit more on the pole.
Oh, okay.
Keep wrapping.
And here, as tight as possible is best, correct?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, and so down here on this side, it needs to be, the pole needs to be sticking out 4 inches. It's more than that at the moment because it's going to stretch down. And yeah, be back in a second. So was that intentional that one is, okay.
Yes.
So
12 inches, that's the door pole.
the door pole is sticking out 12 inches past the others, and then the other two are measured at 18 feet 4 inches.
Yeah. And that's where we'll tie it.
And that's where we're going to tie it.
Yeah. In that general vicinity.
No, we have to be exact. I'm going to measure it again when you're done with this knot.
No, I just need to think for a second.
And if I didn't say, these are the tripod poles.
That works. Yeah, bundle is the way to go. But then it gets tricky once you
need it, yeah.
Well, and the poles get tight together, so
Well.
then we'll be just pulling it through, but that's okay. Just come around there. So you go like that, right? And then you get the next one. And I started above the line and went down, right?
Yep.
And then put this one up. And I start below the line and go up. wrap it like this, basically. And this is where the bundle gets.
So I just need to separate them.
Oh, you want to go through here?
Yeah, I need to go through.
Okay.
I need to go through, and that's why a shorter rope is ideal in the beginning.
Yep. Okay.
See?
Yep.
Just keep it tight. And one more.
She's threading it through right there, so it'll come down since we have a long rope to work with.
Oh, this one has a bow to it.
Did you see the mark though? There it is. Okay. Perfect. And then, and it's okay if there's like, if it's not exact, because it's never going to be exact in a teepee. But so then basically I need to go under this right there. Yeah. And then come around like that.
But then she'll need to be on the other end, right? Because she'll be going down.
Then you need to be on the other end.
Say that again.
As once you've got all three of them wrapped, and then what you do now is wrap 4 times around the bottom, all the way around all 3. And then cross it and wrap 4 times around the top, all the way around all 3. And then I find the end of the rope.
Now tangled now.
That's okay. You can either like go through just like one of these and do your little half hitch. I prefer to go all the way around all of them like that, and just pull this through this side.
Hold on. Yeah, it's gonna be. There we go. So it's twisting the wrong way, so twist this way.
I don't think we're gonna be able to get it out until it's loose.
A little less of a half hitch, but it'll still work.
A half of a half inch.
There, so it can tighten, and it won't get too loose, right? And we should be able just to lift it with that. Now this is the tricky part though, is because our pad already has structure on it, but we need to basically walk this tripod over there and place each pole kind of in the right position. And I think the best way for us to do that will be to walk the base over, like the bottom of the tripod, over to where the door goes, and lift from there, and then walk out the other 2 poles. I think we'll see. But then we can also measure, like once we know where the door pole is going to go, and there's a way we can measure because we know what size the teepee is. So we can measure from the door pole to the other 2 poles, what's it called in the North Pole, the South Pole and the North Pole, because the door is in the east. So it's 18 feet from the door to both of those, and then 16 feet between the North Pole and the South Pole.
Is that in a straight line, or is that
So
round?
ideally so you got your door pole. This is where your door pole is gonna go, right? And then you measure. Say this stick is 18 feet long, so you get an 18-foot measure. So for a 20-foot teepee, it's 18 feet. 18-foot measure, and you make a little arc there. And you do the same thing for the North Pole. And then if we break that stick, it's a little shorter. Now it's 16 and a half. And we find where our arcs cross, if we do an arc here, an arc here,
Perfect.
and that'll give us
The
perfect
three.
placement for our TP poles, for our
Perfect.
tripod.
Pause.
The pole's in position. You got the top. Try and keep the
This is pretty loose.
where it's the part that's coming out. There you go. Keep that tight. A little bit loose is good, but try and keep that tight. Oh, Megan, could you make sure that doesn't move?
Oh, slipped here.
What happened?
That pole, these slipped up the.
I'll look at it in a second. I'll just get this into position. Alright, right there. Good. Pause it. Do we have more
I
rope?
don't think we have more here. There's some.
We will need more rope. I have some still.
We need it.
Not right now. We'll need it later.
Reach back.
Yeah. Actually, it might be around. Around. Okay, so basically, I've got this. If you put that over there, I've got it. And you put that. That one should stay because it's in a bit of a dip.
Okay.
And then so you and me are gonna lift basically from this side, lifting these two. I'll go like that, and then you hold that, and I come in front of you. That.
Oh, okay. I don't have any. Should I come on the other side?
No.
Okay.
Stay on that side. Keep it tight. Keep it tight. And then can you support that? Yep, got it. You got it. This. That's
Yeah, now it's
perfect
the
right
tripod. So.
Okay.
there. Where's the mark on this side?
Oh, that plug. There's a little stake
Right where Megan is.
Oh, okay.
There's a round plug. Just
Right
lift
there.
it up and out.
Perfect. Cool. All right, now if we take this to the middle,
Can you measure it?
the middle. This is the test for strength. It's perfect. Hang on it. And ideally, we want to drive a stake into the ground here and keep this tight while we're setting the poles. Ideally.
You can.
It doesn't have to be. That's why I brought that little
That
green
little,
thing.
that big,
Pause it. Put in.
There's some more rope.
We put in an anchor here, right in the very center, so that we can hold this taut, hold it tight, and everything as we place the other poles. Put them into position. This prevents it from moving around. That'll be removed later. That's good.
So this is inside. If there were gonna be a liner, all it means with having this level higher here is that the liner would sit here and be tied higher up on the poles rather than go all the way to the bottom. And that's fine. That's not a big deal. Because it still allows for the airflow that happens that creates that, if what do you call that?
A draft.
Yeah,
chimney effect?
draft. Yep, chimney effect. Because usually it's just an open fire in the middle, so you really need that